WATE 6 on your side, Storm Team.
We are weather aware as we go into the overnight hours, obviously, with the threat for some heavy rainfall. A few rumbles of thunder as well. The severe threat, I'd say, is on the lower side, not zero. I'll talk about that. A little drier towards daybreak tomorrow, and then another round of scattered showers. Not quite what we're seeing out there now. That'll be tomorrow afternoon and evening, but we do have to keep an eye on Friday. We'll be weather aware again then, due to a severe thunderstorm threat. So let's talk about what's going on now. Definitely some wet pavement in downtown Knoxville and Market Square. Had some rounds of heavy rain move through that area, and that's what just moved over our studios, moving right along parallel to Interstate 40. Also some heavy rainfall near the 40-75 split. As you go down towards Eaton Crossroads, you're coming out of Knox, going into northern sections of Loudoun County, and also some very heavy rainfall back towards Briceville and northern Anderson and into Braytown as well. So anywhere you see that brighter red, that's the heavier rainfall. And we're seeing that across much of the area, as you can see, even back towards portions of the plateau. And it's going to take some time before this all moves through the area, because this extends all the way to the west. Now, I talked about the severe threat. For now, I'd say for us, thankfully, not so much for northern Alabama, but most of it has been staying kind of parallel with that line of Tennessee and Alabama, and also Tennessee and Georgia. I do think some of those storms could creep their way up into the extreme southern valley, maybe just out of our viewing area, but I would say keep a heads up of McMinn, Monroe counties over the next couple of hours, just to be safe. But I really think the heavy rainfall is the bigger impact as we go into the overnight hours. Here's where we are now. We'll advance this and I'll stop it right at about 3 a.m. Still some moderate to heavy rainfall around in some spots, and then we slowly start to taper this off as we get closer to daybreak. This is 7 a.m., still a few lingering showers. My bigger concern, of course, with this heavier rainfall overnight could be ponding on area roads, maybe some isolated flooding in spots as well. The Weather Prediction Center, who issues the flood outlooks across the United States, has kind of expanded this. Earlier, it was kind of right along the Tennessee-Kentucky border, but they've gone ahead and pushed it further north. So basically, anybody in our viewing area has a risk of some flooding overnight. Not everybody will see it, but that opportunity is there. And we still have those possibilities of 1 to 3 inch totals basically overnight through tomorrow morning. This does include what we'll see tomorrow afternoon and evening, but again, the heavier rainfall is in the time frame overnight tonight. So a high threat for that heavy rainfall. Flooding, travel issues will be medium, because of course if we have some flooding, that could cause some travel concerns. Have severe threat medium, could maybe take that down to the lower threat category. As I mentioned, I think the better opportunity is going to stay closer to the Chattanooga area for this round. Friday, a different story. Level 2 out of 5 risk for everybody. I think that may go up to maybe a level 3 risk in some spots. I'd especially say along and south of 40. Now, this will be for Friday. Let's talk about the timing of that. A cold front will sweep across the area as we go through the day. Shower and storm chances will go up. Once again, this is 7 o'clock in the morning as we go from about mid-morning to mid-afternoon. So this is lunchtime. That's the line of storms. That's about all we're expecting to see, that line coming through. I will say, kind of out ahead of this line, there will be some gusty winds, especially in the Smokies, maybe 60, 70 plus mile per hour winds. That could cause some issues, but along the line is where the severe threat will be. It's gone before we get to early afternoon, and much quieter, as you can see, as we head into Friday evening, just starting to cool down. So for Friday, not really a hail threat, and not so much a heavy rain threat, but wind damage medium to high, and even a tornado threat low, creeping up towards medium. A few more ingredients come together, and we may be a little bit more of a tornadic type threat. But regardless, just be prepared. Make sure you have multiple ways to get alerts for tonight, in case we have any flooding, and for Friday, in case we have any severe storms, damaging wind gusts, and maybe even some isolated tornadoes. Thankfully, after that, a quieter weekend.
All right, Ken.